The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of rmconair.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
What is that? No, I'm talking about beats. What is that? You can remake Good Times? That's kind of sick. Ghostface? Wow.
That was a remake of what?
I mean, how can we explain this to the doc? That's a remake of what? Just listen to it. You've never heard this? Not Getting Hustled. This is a genius moment right now. And you nod like you know what it is. You don't need.
I don't mind being the ignorant white man. I hate you being
You
the
are.
stupid white man.
Legendary Norman Lear television show. Esther Roll.
That's what I thought. I just had an
Jimmy
email.
Walker.
I just had an email exchange with Norman Lear.
Okay. But do you know this theme song?
I do now.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't. It's Good Times.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No, you don't need.
No, when you said remake
I've had a lot of good
I know
times in my
Norman-
life.
I know Norman Lear. So when you said remake of Good Times, I knew the show, but I couldn't relate
Okay,
to it.
all right, because I know you white and all, but you got to know what good time. I mean, black people knew All in the Family.
I thought you were referring to our show, Good Times, but
Okay, let me ask you this. Did you ever watch The Jeffersons?
I love the Jeffersons.
Okay. I'm just asking. Arnold Jackson. You know the name of that?
Mm-hmm.
Who was Arnold? What character, what television show was Arnold Jackson in?
Gee. Flintstones.
No, Arnold Jackson wasn't in the damn Flintstones.
No, I know that. I'm just playing with you.
Different Strokes. You didn't.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. No.
No,
Anyway.
I'm having.
Who played Shaq?
What?
Who played Shaq?
I don't even know where I park my car, and it's right outside.
Okay, here we go.
I'm having romnesia. I'm having some recall problems.
Romnesia. Oh, hey. So let me do this. Let me welcome everybody in. This is the Zo What Morning Show. You know we have a great time every time we do this show. We got crazy topics. We got crazy guests. And we like to talk about relationships. We like to say this is the show that listens. So if you have any issues, concerns, problems in your relationships, problems in your life, the doctor is a real for real doctor, psychiatrist, medical doctor. I mean, anybody who's listened to the show, man, can get some insight and information from the brother. So call us at 323-965-1600. I'm the philosopher. That's the doctor, Dr. Mark Goulston. Let me promote his book. Just listen. I need you to go get this book right now. Last week, we did something special for the folk regarding your book. They could actually get the 5-page executive summary if they email you. And that email is really quickly.
I guess they can get it again this week, is what you're saying?
That's what
Okay.
I mean, why not keep giving it?
That's right. It's M. Goulston, Goulston at markgoulston.com. M. Goulston at markgoulston.com. And you know, I had to read that book this last week because I met with someone and I was a terrible listener.
Wow. It's kind of how you are on the show, but we're used to it now.
Well, there's no room.
Listen, please support Dr. Mark Goulston. He's a great person, a good friend of mine, and I appreciate his efforts and works. Discover the secret to getting through to absolutely anyone. Just listen, Dr. Mark Goulston. What I want to do as well, I have plans on putting together a book club. A lot of people are hitting me for books. So what I'm going to do, every week, I'm going to take about 5 minutes and highlight 5 titles. I mean, I've read thousands of books, but I have on deck in my rotation that I'm reading at least 50 books right now. So what I'll do is take 5 of those and just week after week, tell you what I'm reading, tell you what, suggest what you should read. Doc, you might want to throw in a couple of books as well. You got a vast library of books, right?
Yeah, in fact, there's one can I recommend one right now? besides my own?
Absolutely, besides your own.
There's a great book called Power Questions by Andrew Sobel, S-O-B-E-L. And I think it's the best career book I've read in 15 years, because what it teaches you is how to ask questions that draw people out. Because, when you draw people out, it you can feel their energy when they're talking. When you're talking, a lot of people smile kind of like this, but their energy goes down because when people are talking, they're getting stuff off their chest. It's freeing them up, and it's an amazing book. I think it will help you in your career, but I think it will help you in your life. Because one of my favorite sayings is, when you're around people, try to be more interested than interesting. Try to be more fascinated than fascinating. And
but that will
people love you.
require other people to look into people. Most people are not trying to do that. Most people want to be seen. They want the attention on them, and they don't want to put their attention on other people. That's what it seems like to me. It's about me.
This is interesting, because if you have to be seen and you want to be seen, that means that at some point inside you feel small or invisible or
go
insignificant. And so if you think about it, how many of you have listened to someone who just wouldn't shut up, and what you really felt was all their insecurity? Instead of feeling their confidence, you were saying to yourself, this person is so insecure. And what are they insecure about? It's like down deep. They don't feel seeable. They feel invisible. And the sad thing is, the more they talk, so I'm about to shut up, but the more they talk, the less visible they are, the less important, and the more you want to get away from them.
Wow. How many people in your life do you know like that? 323-965-1600. Call us and share with us your opinions on this. Let's do this really quickly. We've got topics. Why not just get one out right now? I think, Doc, you should expound on this, and I'll help you as well. The General Petraeus story. What I'd like to do right now, she's getting a lot of fanfare because of her chocolatey goodness. In other words, she's very beautiful.
That's everyone in the room except you.
Yes.
You're handsome.
Wow. I was about to, is that a backhanded compliment from the doctor?
No, and I'm FOS.
Except you. You're hideous, though. Oh, my bad.
And I'm FOS, but we can't swear here. You know what I mean?
FOS, what does that mean?
Full of.
Oh, wow. And there's the doctor. Okay. Anyway, let's do it without further ado. Our crack journalist, she was labeled studious chocolate.
Studious chocolate.
When she wears her glasses. That is her stripper name if she ever decides to become one, which we don't think she will. She's in college right now. She's a sophomore, doing quite well. Without further ado, Chuck Doe.
Okay.
Studious chocolate. What is our first story? Is this the Petraeus story?
It's the Petraeus story. So Petraeus is the CIA director, and he's apparently resigned from that position because of a extramarital affair that he got caught in.
Wait a minute. What's his position again?
CIA director.
Okay, let's stop. First and foremost, the CIA is about spying. It's about deception. It's about cover-up. Information is the most valuable currency on planet Earth. It's about deception. How contradictory is it to say, I should step down from this high, prestigious office because of my immorality? I have cheated on my wife. You're in the business of cheating. It's the CIA. You're cheating everybody. You're stealing secrets. You're selling secrets. I saw Safe House.
Yeah, but you convince yourself that when you're lying and cheating and you're in the CIA, it's to serve something other than yourself personally.
Okay, Dr. Mark, call us right now if you agree or disagree with Mark or myself. I have to be the antagonist here. Don't all powerful men cheat? It's been that way since time immemorial. It's relatively rare to find this super powerful, rich, philanthropist, playboy guy that's just only her. No, it's only them. She's just the favorite of them. And we will work to keep the knowledge of them and her away from each other. That's Tiger Woods. That's Magic Johnson. That's everybody that has power.
So I got to educate you about something none of you have heard about. And,
Let's hear it.
And this will put you to sleep, but that's okay. You can ratchet back. Powerful people are adrenaline junkies. Adrenaline is about power. There's another thing in your brain called dopamine, which is about pleasure. And power trumps pleasure in power junkies. And so what happens is when you're in a position of power, what you're not banking on is that the crash off adrenaline is worse than the rush. And so you will do anything to keep the adrenaline rush and your power going. And that's why the more scary, the more
The more thrilling.
the more thrilling, the more exciting, the more dangerous stuff you can do, the greater the adrenaline. So you talk about a general who's running a war. Now maybe it's kind of thrilling to play spies, but in the CIA, but I think when you're running a war, that's direct combat. And so you come back and there you've left the military after many, many years, and the military is an adrenaline rush. I mean, one of the big problems for a lot of our returning military is when they come back from war and they come back to their civilian life, I mean, they get kind of fuzzy in their head because it's just different. It's
Right.
just slowed down. And so I think what happened is he needed to keep his power high going. And I think a lot of these people who are addicted to power find it in affairs. And part of the reason is when you fall in love with your sweetie before you get married, that's an adrenaline rush. But then when you get married, especially when you have kids and they're picking at you didn't pick at the kids
Domesticity,
saying,
right,
Don't do
right.
this, don't do that. What happens is instead of an adrenaline rush, you feel picked at. You know, everyone might look up to you because you're a 4-star general, but you and I know the real you. That
You're
don't
not a
pick
general
up-
here, buddy.
Yeah, you don't pick up after yourself, and you forgot to fix the thing in the kitchen.
Right. It's your turn to do the laundry, General.
And so I think what happens is it's
What?
people kind of lose that. A lot of these men, they lose their focus. And I mean, look at Tiger Woods. It may be that that he started going into this stuff after he had some difficulty winning. That he didn't have.
Right.
He had lost his that power.
But you know what? This reminds me of Dr. John Gray when he talks about cheating. He says it's a hormonal dance. In men, we need testosterone. That levels us out. It's more than just a sex drive. It's our mind. It's everything. Testosterone is everything to a man, right? For women, it's oxytocin. And he talks about different ways that our testosterone levels through domestic living starts to tank because that's an emergency. Oh, what do I need to do? Type of hormone. At home, it's okay. There's no emergency here, really. Everything is good. The only real emergency is my wife yelling about who left the light on. Don't you hate that? Don't you know somebody left the light on? It's on. Just turn it off. You don't have to come to everybody and ask, now who left the damn light on? Just turn it off. But that's the type of emergency I think that tanks testosterone, right? So what happens in cheating, this is how Dr. John Gray explained it. He said those levels go down because in that home, you talked about being picked at. He says, well, when you're being picked at or you're not being appreciated, I would say, picking at someone is the opposite of appreciating what it is they are doing. But when you're being picked at, the man's testosterone levels tank. And he says a
Absolutely.
sure way for those to spike. Now just keep in mind, men are animals. I see her over there. She's like a beautiful fawn off in the distance. I will hunt her down. But that's what brings up the testosterone, right? Cheating so happens to do that. It spikes because we're not chasing this woman we already have now. So it's going to tank, and then you put that nitpicking on top of that. Lack of appreciation, those are the things that send, or appreciation would send a man's testosterone through the roof. Just thank him for whatever. He can fucking make you a pancake. Just thank him,
Well, I think you're right, and I think where we're both coming is men are about testosterone and adrenaline, and women are about this oxytocin, which is the
bonding.
But
Yeah.
they're also about estrogen, which is creating a home. I mean,
Right.
Men don't know how to create a home. They build a house, but they need the estrogen of a woman to create a home.
Right.
And so those 4 different chemicals, estrogen and oxytocin, I give a lot of talks at women's conferences because I actually coach more women how to succeed in the world of men than I coach men. And the main reason is that women don't feel less about themselves if they receive help, whereas men just lay there helplessly needing help but refusing it. So that's one of the reasons I coach women, and what I coach women is to be proud.
Wait a minute. Are you saying women are more coachable than men?
Men are coachable in sports. Men are coachable when they want to achieve something, but in terms of developing who they are.
You mean women are more coachable in terms of spiritual development than men?
Yes.
I will not tolerate this subordinate.
You're an intellectual spiritual. I don't know that you're spiritual, Zoe. You're an intellectual, and you understand spirituality. I think women feel things more deeply than.
I'm going to challenge the doctor on that. And if you decide to do so, please call us at 323-965-1600.
Yeah, like
I can't believe you,
right
Doc.
now you're screaming at me. And what it is you're feeling things more intensely, but you're not feeling it more deeply.
No, I just finished watching 3 straight seasons of The Tudors. So I'm a little King Henry-ish right now. So pardon me. But I don't think, well, I'm going to be honest. I do think women are more spiritually inclined than men. I'm going to say that. I do agree with you on that. However, I feel like because women have fallen off to such a degree, because again, in this society, like the estrogen, I believe, is more important. The societal building is more important. Women are, to me, more sociologically driven. That's why you're listening to them talk to Steve Harvey. It's, okay, by 27, I need to be married. By 28, 29, I need to have my first child. And then they're judging themselves off of other women and where other women are demographically, socio-demographically. Let's stop all of that. I think if a woman stepped away from that estrogen just a little bit and connected more with the oxytocin, to me, let's just say oxytocin is like intuition, their intuition. I think what happens is women are in pursuit of certainty, and certainty feels good. Trust, predictability, that feels good. But I think the intuition is left to atrophy, like that innate. Like if I ask a woman, right, why did you break up with this guy? She'll be able to itemize every single thing. And you'll always get to a point where you can say, well, why did you stay? I believe in a lot of ways women ignore their intuition in pursuit of certainty. So what does that mean? Okay, he has to have a good job. He has to be educated. He has to be of certain standing, certain beliefs. And then we integrate ideologically. That's the same as feeling but not feeling deeply. Like you have the societal trapping, but you don't have the real underpinning that will enable you to weather whatever storm that may come.
It's interesting. When I ask women why they stay in lousy relationships, what it comes down to, it's a little bit of this bonding thing, is they can't let go of the future that they're not going to be able to have. So it's almost like they are bonded to something in the future. And when you say, well, is it going in that direction? They say, no, it's going opposite from that. But what happens is they're banking on this future that they're not going to have. And then the idea of having to start all over again, and then not only start all over again, but start by distrusting whoever you run into, because the last person you were with you couldn't trust.
Doc.
And it's really tough to let go of this thing in the future. The point is, if it's not there, it's let go of you. Your future's let go of you. You got to let go.
But we're saying the same thing, Doc. They got to stop dating their idea. Just like you're saying, I'm dating the future of what this will be. You're not dating the real dude then. You're using him. Let's just go. I want to go there. She's using him.
Why is it that why is it that a man in his career, it's okay to think in your career about the steps of building something. Well, this is what we're going to do in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, and that's actually seen as planning. That's seen as kind of mature. But if a woman starts to think in terms of planning, especially when the man is making all these promises to get her for the moment, which he has no intention of keeping 6 months from now.
I've been watching The Tudors.
Okay, go back to the tutors. Tutor us.
And I love the scene where King Henry tells his wife, "Do not meddle in my affairs." It's just so beautiful. Just be quiet. She said, Are you disappointed? Yes, I am. In what? You are not pregnant yet. I'm just saying, maybe we should go back to the old iron fist way. Do as I say. Look, all the women. I'm just playing. All the women are looking at me.
All the women hate you in the.
I'm just playing.
And you're loving it. You're loving every second.
You can see their faces. They're like, what the hell? Yes, be quiet. Do not speak of these things ever again. I'm just saying, I think sometimes women want this traditional cat.
What if
they want this traditional dude, but then at the same time they want to be progressive and independent, and that traditional dude typically has some strong arm in him.
Let's play this out. So you're King Henry, and you're saying, and I'll be the one meddling in your affairs. And what if I were to say to you, King Henry, what about? I will not meddle in your affairs.
Indeed.
If you will deliver on all the promises you've made to me about what we're going to have down the road.
I deliver at my own pace.
No.
You ought to follow along at my pace.
Then don't make promises that you can't keep.
I will do all that I can to manifest your problems if my promises. But if I happen to not manifest the promise, it doesn't mean I'm not trying to. I think what happens is it comes down to what Billionaire said last week. You got to execute with women. If you don't execute, that is a coupon to go out and do what they really want to do. I don't like hearing women say, I cheated because he did. No, you cheated because you wanted to. You were just looking for the reason, the excuse to be able to justify it. That's what women do. They wait to get that coupon redeemed. Yeah, I'm cheating because of this. And when you look at the male ego on top of that, I know she ain't cheating with just anybody. She cheating with somebody that has some kind of quality. And then the men start looking at themselves. See, we cheat for no reason at all. Opportunity. Oh, there she is. And my wife is 7,000 miles away. Are you out of your mind? If there's any type of rhythm being thrown over here, I'm going to take it.
We cheat out of boredom.
Just who cares? But the reverse of it is if they cheat, that's when our ego gets hurt. Okay, we got to take a quick break. So What Morning Show, 323-965-1600. If you agree or disagree, please call us and let us know. Dr. Mark Goulston, Zoe Williams, we waiting on Jeff Brown. Of course, we're waiting on Jeff Brown. But we'll be back at 2.2. And when we come back, we got guests, more topics, more questions. I'll be back at 2. DJ Mr. Number Wonderful in the building. What is that? I just got to ask because a lot of people are asking on YouTube. They're like, what is he playing?
This is Liquid Junkies.
Liquid Junkies. Does that really tell us who that is? This is Charles. Okay, Liquid Junkies by who?
No, it's Liquid Junkies, but the song is Ghetto.
The song is called Ghetto by Liquid Junkies. Okay, that's fly. So What Mornings back in the building. Dr. Mark Goulston, just listen. You know what it is. And Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. You know how I do. I'm on Foxhole Radio too, Sirius XM 98 on Thursdays. We're having a bunch of topics. I got some guests in the building. Of course, back to join us. Good friend of mine, young man. Billionaire is in here with us right now. He's going to be chiming in on the topics. Anybody remember him from last week? It was a pretty inspirational show. What's up, man?
Speaking it into existence, man. This week we just focus on what we was focused on last week, execution.
That's what didn't I just say that? That dude is cold, right? Anyway, we have another guest. Somebody from the bottom who made it to the top. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people that are listening right now? Tell them who you are and what you do.
My name is Trezay, and I am a former homeless and battered mom, and I have risen to the top, as he said, and now I run a 501c3 organization, and I help homeless and battered moms with emergency services. I'm a published author. I also have a book out called Miracles of My Mistakes, and I do comedy to help the community.
Somebody else from the bottom that Zoe had to go get. Yes, I have to yell. Right? I told you I'm in my King Henry VIII right now. I command you. No. I had to go get more folk from the bottom to show that you can't alienate the bottom. Damn. This is where we get our inspiration from. What you driving right now? I saw the little Cayenne out front, pimp. Little Porsche truck. Huh? I'm just saying, I'm so happy that she's an inspiration. She'll be here. Trezay will be here to chime in on our stories. Now, what we're going to do is go through some stories from our sexy. I don't want to call her sexy. Somebody said I was being very misogynistic and just overbearing with it. She is beautiful, though. Anyway, Chuck Doe, what's our next story? What's the word? What are we talking about now?
Okay, so everyone knows that vaccinations have always been like a controversial thing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it comes to vaccinations for children.
Mm-hmm.
And so a study was conducted by the University of Pittsburgh with what they did was scientists gave monkeys standard doses of vaccinations that we get when we're children. And they found that the monkeys that had the vaccinations developed symptoms of autism as opposed to their counterparts who didn't get any vaccinations.
You know what? And this is the thing. Maybe the doctor can answer for this madness. This is the thing that bothers me. It seems like there's an epidemic almost when things start happening. Like everybody's getting allergies, right? Like back in the days, it wasn't like that.
No.
And grandmama and them could beat allergies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I just don't understand how now everybody has allergies. And I think to some degree, there is some chicanery going on in the medical system where they just putting a whole bunch of surplus drugs and stuff. And I think it has an adverse effect on us. And I think autism might be because of over-medication. I don't know. I could just be wrong. It's conspiracy theory 101. But how many kids do you know that, back in our day that were, immunized that came up with autism?
None. And I don't remember nobody. I only seen like one kid in the 70s with the little ankle brace with the brown boots on and polio and all that stuff. Don't nobody get that stuff no more. I'm a firm believer in not vaccinating your kids.
The ankle braces with the brown
with
boots?
the brown boots. You know what I'm talking about? The little clanky dude, the little loud dude, when he come down the street, he sound like he's scraping. Like,
Run, Forrest.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. We didn't have too many of them. It's like I think it's a something just to sell medication, just to pump more medication.
I mean, because think about it. In our time, nobody ever heard of HDHD and all this.
No, it was a bad case of sit down and shut up. That's what you had. That's what you caught. That's what, and it was a cure for that. It was called a belt or a racing track.
Abuse was a cure in the hood. Doc, talk to me about this vaccination scare. And is autism tied to immunization?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the research, but it's one of these plus minus things. There is a lot of hysteria about all these things, and it's kind of like a few years ago they said, and they do have these warnings on antidepressants. Oh, you better not take antidepressants because you'll become suicidal. But depression is one of the leading causes of people committing suicide. Untreated depression. And so I think it's important to find out the information and get your facts right. But more people are helped by these antidepressants. More suicides have been prevented by taking them. And so I don't know what's true about vaccination, but that's been around for many years in terms of is there a connection to autism. Also, I think socially, if you think about things, we are not socialized to connect with other people. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are told to do certain things, and I think relating has fallen out of our relationships. I don't think we relate that much to each other.
Yeah.
And,
Do you know what's in vaccinations? Do you know it's battery acid and ammonia and all kinds of
Wait a minute.
stuff?
Watch your tone in your delivery. You're talking to the white man, and he's a
Oh.
doctor. So
Well, I'm just saying.
you pull it back a taste.
there's-
Hey, do you know that there's Kool-Aid and just pull it back a notch?
But there's stuff in the vaccination that has nothing to do with the disease itself. There's so many additives and byproducts in the vaccination, and that's what usually causes the fever, the adverse reactions, and the side effects. Because of what is the purpose? What is the benefit of a vaccination? Please tell me.
Well, I think the benefit of a vaccination is hopefully to prevent an illness that could be worse than the side effects of the vaccination. And so not all vaccinations are bad, but as you're right, and there are lots of additives in every medication, every vaccination, but a lot of those additives are there.
She don't believe none of it.
No,
She,
I'm telling you,
but you
I
know
was
what's
right.
interesting? You know what's interesting, Doc? Her look. A lot of people in the black community have that suspicion of doctors.
Well, that's.
Am I lying? Like,
I trust the doctor, but think about in Walnut Grove on Little House on the Prairie. The doctor came to you when something was really wrong with you. Didn't nobody just go take a doctor's appointment? But nobody just at the doctor's office and you had to sit there for 3-4 hours. If Doc Baker came to your house, you was on your deathbed, and that's where it was. I don't believe in and I know this your money and this your hustle. I ain't knocking your hustle. But to go to a doctor, and it's okay to get regular checkups, but just to say, oh, I'm sick, let me go to the doctor. I don't go to the doctor unless something is wrong with me. I get my annual checkups. I go get my little titties felt on and get my little popsicle stick, and but I don't just prescribe to go to the doctor all the time, every time something is wrong with me. I have a thing about that. It's like, for what? It just seems like it's a hustle. It's a great hustle, and
it's a great hustle.
but I just
Billionaire.
feel like-
Look, you got to chime in, man. Come on, man. Let me ask. Because during your ordeal, like when you were like homeless, did you think about, damn, I need Medicare? Or did you think about how to, you know what I mean? Like, how do you stay healthy when you're like down on your luck like that? You know, maybe immunizations are something good to have. Because imagine if, like, for instance, I got a kid, I got a cousin. Mm-hmm. His kids never were immunized. Mm-hmm. And for like the first 4 years, their nose just ran. It was like a faucet on their nose. But now, no snotty nose, and really brilliant and healthy and rarely ever get sick. How many people in your neighborhood, Billionaire, never, you know what I'm saying, got immunization? And if you know about it, and have you heard of people, you know, maybe suffering some side effects or having some suspicions about the immunization?
I mean, honestly, where I'm from probably a similar neighborhood like hers. You know, my family and them, they're not going to the doctors. Just to be honest, you know, when I was in my car for the 63 days, I didn't really focus on things like going to the doctor. I was just trying to eat for the next day.
Wow.
So I didn't really think about it. I just kept myself healthy as best I could mentally. And even if my body looks bad, my mind looks good. So I'm still got a good body.
There we go. Poetess was saying something about the breasticles, that when you breastfeed, it builds the immunity of the child. Is that true, Doc?
Yeah, no, I think when you can do that, it's better than bottle feeding. I mean, that's why they encourage that.
Is breastfeeding better than the immunization?
I think it depends about which illnesses, but how I'd like to shift away from this, because
I know you're trying to get. I just see you squirming. You're a doctor, and I don't want you to squirm away from it.
You're going to lose your token white host any second. Right?
I will not.
I think what they're saying that's really valid is, I think people don't rely on themselves enough. I think people look for answers coming to them. They look for people to bail them out, and that can cause you to, and then that's one step away of seeing yourself as a victim and a casualty, and that's really away from execution. What you do is you fall through the cracks. So I think a lot of people have this. It's interesting. There used to be a term called learned helplessness. Where you just learn to be helpless and hope the world would help you. What was interesting is the guy who made his name on learned helplessness, a psychologist in Philadelphia named Marty Seligman. What happened is he is now the father of positive psychology, which is the opposite of learned helplessness. And I heard a story of one of the reasons he shifted from, giving people excuses to people now being more positive. He actually does resilience training with the U.S. Army. Is there was a story in which he told his daughter when she was young, you need to stop. You need to stop complaining and whining so much. And she looked at him and said, "Well, I'll do that when you stop being so grumpy."
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But he switched around, and I think I agree with both of you that a lot of people give away their power. They think it's someone else's fault, and they give away taking charge of their life. And what I would like to hear from billionaire and
Trezay.
Trezay is
I'm just Trezay, cuz. Get my name right.
No, what I would like to hear, okay, and I'm going to speak, I'll try and speak for the people who were down and heading towards down and out.
Okay.
But if either of you can speak about a moment where you might have been heading in that direction and you turned a corner, if there was a corner you turned from, heading towards the negative and not knowing what you were going to do, but you made it back. You found the road back from hell. Can you talk about if either of you had some moments in which you said, enough already, I'm not going to let this, I'm going to take charge of my life instead of staying stuck or whatever. I think there's a lot of people out there listening who say, well, that's easy for the two of you to say because you people have courage and we don't. So can you speak to that?
Yeah. And that's a great question that you're asking. And Jeff Brown is here. We're about to bring Jeff Brown in a second. But, I just think it's very important that we remember there are no victims. Either you participate in 50% of the things that happen to you happen because of you, and 50% of the things that happen to you happens in spite of you. And a lot of times people don't want to take that, like you said, there's a learned helplessness. They don't want to take responsibility for it. But the moment you take responsibility for your life, that's when you start developing it into what you want it to be. What's our next topic?
Okay, so we have a study that was conducted by a UCLA researcher that said lesbian parents raise smarter students, basically.
Ooh.
So what they
You mean the double mom household?
the double mom.
The double mama
lesbian,
hookup?
Your parents are lesbian household. So they took 78 teens and they followed them over a course of 26 years. And when they found that basically the students had an average of an A or a B GPA.
Listen, the bottom line is women are better nurturers.
We are.
That's just the bottom line. But a lot of people, listen, a lot of people, though, have a real problem with the double mama hookup. They do. Now, I would agree. Okay, yeah, maybe, they're better students. But what happens when a boy, this is what a lot of women don't understand. Hold on. Let me just do this real quick. Jeff Brown.
What's up?
Yeah. Guess what we're doing?
What are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing a radio show.
You guys doing a radio show? You know that's odd. I am standing at the back door of the studio of a radio show right now as we're speaking.
Right, yeah. I wonder why you're at the back door and not in your seat.
Because the back door's unlocked. The back door's locked.
Yeah. But it was just locked about 5 minutes ago. You do know we're like, yeah.
So I was supposed to be there before it was locked?
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to be here before it was locked.
That's what you're getting at.
Yeah. Well, look, the producer is coming to let you in. This is genius. Okay, we'll see you in a minute, Jeff. Jeff Brown, man. Now, where was I? I was talking about.
You was talking about the double lesbian house.
Yeah, the double mom situation. Yeah. So, with that said, what happens when that guy? And this is what I tell, the mother of my children.
Okay.
Especially with my son. It's my time now, Mom. He not listening to you. And there he is. He's not listening to you, right?
Right.
What happens when, say, the double mom situation is trying to raise a heterosexual man? Right. Like, how does that work?
I don't know.
Because I know, I'm just saying, and then you guys can chime in. Yeah. And Billionaire, you could talk about this. At what point did you disconnect from your mom? How old were you where it was like, we all do. Boys always disconnect from mom. And when we get that disconnection, we need a strong uncle, We need daddy. We need big brother. We need something to fill in the gap because there's always a time where we're going to disconnect from mom. When did you disconnect from mom, billionaire?
When I made that transition from Alabama to California.
Oh, wow. So that was recently.
Yeah, I was in my, I was about 21, 22. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
you got to I looked at it from the perspective, no offense to my mom, she one of the biggest supporters in my life, but for 22 years, she taught me how to be broke. You know what I'm saying? Only because that's the environment she was raised in. She didn't intentionally do it. She did what she thought was best for me, but her habits, now that I've been exposed to the world, it was teaching me to be broke. Now I'm around people that teach me the value of wealth. They teach me the value of my mind.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. Doc, is there any validity to what I'm saying? As in terms of a male child disconnecting, from mom?
Yeah, I think if a male child doesn't disconnect from mom, there's a term. I don't know if it's a white term or whatever term.
You know you guys don't have any terms. All of your terms come from us. You know that. I don't know if it's a white term.
There's a term called a mama's boy.
That's ours.
Okay.
Is that yours?
Yes. Chuck Berry created in 1940.
Well, we steal all the best things from you guys anyway. But there's a feeling you don't want to be a mama's boy. You don't feel like a man. But I think this raises the issues with if you're a son of a lesbian couple, I am certain that one of the things they're going to really teach you is respect for women.
Oh, no doubt.
And I think respect for women is critical to a long-lasting relationship. But when you go through your 20s or your teens, your 20s and your 30s, and your peers don't really get how important it is to respect women.
Corey Holcomb would say, a man raised by a double mama household is producing a sucker. That's what he would say. He would say, he'd be a sucker. He'd be a lame. I'm just saying, who agrees or disagrees with that? I mean, Corey Holcomb would say that. I've heard him say that before. So.
Let me throw something else in, and then we can all mix it up a little bit. I think one of the things that let me check with women here. I think what
there's a lot of women here.
I think what women really like in a man is a man who can, when he needs to, take charge without being controlling or being a bully. I mean, nobody wants a controlling guy, but you don't want a man who can't take charge. A man who can't take charge.
Doc, that's like saying a woman wants a really sharp knife that doesn't cut. You can't get all of that at the same time. I mean, it's really rare to have the bull that goes, I recognize that I am not to gore you.
No, but you can take charge of a situation without being controlling or bully.
Or disrespectful.
You can, but it depends on the level of consciousness, I believe. If you get a dude who is used to lifting car engines all day and he washes his hands with lava soap, there's going to be a certain level of unrefinement there, I believe.
But unrefinement don't have to mean disrespectful.
But that's what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying the research comes in terms of relationships. They've already proven that when you study the more traditional-minded man, that's the more violent man towards women.
Well, let me ask, who was the person who said someone who's raised by a double mama is a sucker? Who was the person who would say?
Corey Holcomb.
So if you said to him, what's his name? Corey Holcomb?
Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb, that's how uninformed I am. If you ask Corey, okay, so what do you think about the fact that a double mama raises kids who actually do better in school, maybe in their jobs? What do you think about that kind of detail? My guess is he'd say, who cares? He'd probably say, who cares about that? They're still a sucker if they're raised by a double mom,
right.
Because I don't think Corey Holcomb has respect.
We're going to have to set up the battle. Okay, good. This is great.
Let's call him up.
All right, listen, we got to take a quick break. When I come back, though, Jeff Brown is in the building. Psychic Wayne, billionaire, Trezay, and Dr. Mark Goulston. We all in the building right now, having a great time. DJ Mr. Number Wonderful, take us out of here, man.
Fun, baby.
Little Jack Horner sitting on the corner with no shoes and clothes. This ain't funny, but he took his money and sniffed it up his nose.
Ladies and gentlemen, So What Mornings. Great, man. You got mixes. That's DJ Mr. Number Wonderful on the ones and twos.
That's right.
Having a good time. We got a full house. This is a crazy show today. We've got Wayne Gonzalez, Psychic Wayne. We've got Billionaire PA. Anybody who recognized Billionaire from last week's show, please call in right now, 323-965-1600. Psychic Wayne, 3.5 weeks ago, predicted the outcome of the presidential election accurately.
And the flow.
I had to bring him back. He said it's going to be close, but then it's going to wind up not being. But he called it right here on the Zoe What Morning Show. We're here also with Trezay, cuz, and I have to represent her hood. What hood you from?
I am not from any hood. I'm not even from LA to be from.
Where you from?
From Michigan.
Oh, you from hood then? Michigan?
Michigan is a whole hood though.
They got like soot gangs. Yeah.
Oh my God! The Midwest people. That's a different breed of brothers. Their skin is different. They leathery. They got leathery skin and hard hands. They're not regular brothers. They light their cigarettes with their fingers. They are just dudes right there. My granddaddy was one of them dudes. Them ain't no regular dudes.
Okay, and then of course you know who that is. That's Jeff Brown, comedian,
rocking the Applejack.
And of course, I don't know if it's an apple. Okay,
it's an Applejack, baby.
Okay,
that's what he tried to tell me.
Okay. And we've got none other than Dr. Mark Goulston in the building right now. What I want to do real quickly, because we've got a full house, this is what I want to do.
You ain't going to bust on his jacket. You busting on my hat.
No.
His jacket's nice.
His jacket is nice.
But it's 78. It's outside. Have you been outside, Dr. Mark? Unless you're anemic, unless you need some
iron pills.
He has a sweatshirt on over there.
He got
That's a climate control jacket.
Climate control.
So
I don't want to show my skinny arms next to yours.
Okay.
So really quickly, this is what I want to do, Jeff Brown.
What's up?
Psychic Wayne.
Yes.
Talk to me about the cards, because at first I didn't believe anything you said. I'm just being
okay.
Shit. And in Psychic Wayne, he'll tell you.
Well, the thing of it is
well, wait. He'll tell you this.
Okay.
I'll call Wayne and be like, "Hey, I need another reading. Do it again. Let me just see." But let me just say, when President Barack Obama won the election in the way that this dude said he did, I had to call him. You the truth. I will never doubt you again. Because for the whole time I doubted him. Talk to me about the cards, man. Like, is it demonic? Is it some devil worship? Is it like some runes? Wow. Like, what are we doing? How do you know this shit? Wow. And how come other people don't? And it's very scary dealing with people like you. Talk to me.
It's absolutely not demonic. You know, I have to tell people this, the history of the church from like the 1400s. The cards and all that. The church, they were involved in all of that. And when the common masses of people started to get into it, they wouldn't go to church. So in order to keep them coming to church, they had to say, this is the devil stuff. This is devil. You need to stay away from it. So it's not devil work at all. And the thing about the election, I got emails that I called it like 4 years ago or when he was elected the first time. I don't remember.
Right.
And then astrologically, when I did a chart for election night, Romney had a transiting of Saturn that squared his Saturn. So
but see, don't nobody know what that means. That's like Romney had a box of Fruit Loops that squared his corn pops. Like, what does that mean?
Well, it means that, Saturn is a very tough planet. And in his house, and I don't remember what house it was in, Saturn was transiting by that house on that night. And what happens is that whatever your intentions are, whatever your goal is at that moment, you're not going to reach it.
So it was a Saturn drive-by for Romney.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I've seen a drive-by in a Saturn before.
Right, but not a Saturn drive.
I only got one bone to pick. Okay, I got one question. How long have you been practicing with cards and psychic energy?
I don't know if it's psychic energy. I mean, I had cards since I was 6 years old.
Okay, since you were 6.
Yeah.
All right.
So
same question I got for all of y'all. Where was all the psychics, all the people with cards, all the people on late at 3 a.m. telling me to call? All of y'all.
Okay.
Where were y'all September 10th, 2001?
Okay.
I mean, I would have done with this. 2 Lincoln Continentals are going to crash into a Walgreens. If somebody had said that, and then 2 planes hit the World Trade Center, I said, you know what, that dude is on to something. But we didn't get a hint. We didn't get a nothing. And
you know what? The poetess makes a great point. Sorry, Wayne. She says, even if Wayne or any other psychic were to come out and say this is going to happen on that day, probably nobody would have believed him anyway.
They would have had to September 12th. You got to.
Go ahead, Wayne.
I was gonna say, hey, there are a lot of things that happen, and some things are just meant to happen. So I don't sit home at my desk and try to figure out the destiny of the world. That's just not what I do.
Right.
I ain't talking about
if
the
George
destiny.
Bush had called me, maybe I would have said, "Look, George, tomorrow we're gonna have a problem." Other than
Hilarious.
that, I'm not gonna sit there and say,
that's
"What's gonna
legitimate.
happen tomorrow to the world?" That's just not what I do.
So what's the difference between a prophet and a tarot reader?
You know, I don't
Because
know.
there's a lot of people scared.
A lot of people are scared of the tarot.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Oh,
why.
yeah.
Just because
It's
of the
evil. That's
way the
devil in
church
them.
did it.
Except the devil.
I don't equate myself
With a B.
honestly. And I don't really like the word psychic, but that was given to me by Sinbad when I was on the show like 12 years ago. And
Wow.
It just kind of stuck.
Okay.
So what do you? What word works better?
Well, I guess that works better.
And I'm just pragmatic.
Can you
That's
predict
fine.
somebody's whole life chart? Like if I show you like my birth date or whatever, my social security.
They're going to
number,
have
whatever
your
you need.
Cayenne truck in the
Yeah.
reading.
She said
They're
her
gonna-
social security number.
I mean, whatever it takes to make it happen. I'm saying, like, could you find out like why I have 5 baby daddies and why I've been married
Well,
so
that
many
would definitely
times
be
and
in your
why-
natal chart. It could be in your fifth
From the
house.
bottom.
Fifth house has to do with your kids.
Okay.
Has to do with children. Like for me, I have Saturn in my fifth house. I'm not gonna have kids.
Okay,
That's
well,
just
where
what
was
it is.
Saturn at when I was dropping it like it was hot?
Well, I would need to know your birth.
She had to see your fifth house.
It wasn't Saturn, it was Hyundai. All day long, huh?
it was a Cutlass.
Crazy. So hang in there with us today, Psychic Wayne, and if we so choose to, maybe you want a reading. Maybe somebody needs to
I want
find
him to
out.
tell me who my next baby daddy gonna be.
It ain't gonna be Usher. No, I'm just. Might be Lil Wayne or somebody. Who knows? Let's just wish something really good for her. Who would you want your next baby daddy to be?
Somebody who gonna take care of them.
Okay, wait a minute. Gonna take care of
all of them. Not
okay,
just
that's
one,
your problem.
all
There your
of
problem.
The
So
whole-
it's just somebody gonna just look in and go, okay, all of y'all get in the car. That's tough.
Yes.
That's tough. That's a tough
That's
one.
my dream.
That's
guy.
a tough one. It's, I ain't your dream dude because I'll pull up and go, you, and you. The one with the runny nose, you stay here.
You picking and choosing?
I pick him. That one always crying. He can't come.
He can't come.
He can't come. I'm tired of that crying, licking my window. What the hell is that?
He gotta stay home.
Yeah, he got to stay home. Okay, got my car smelling like 8-year-old spit. Okay.
Done stole the car lighter and everything.
Oh my God! Why is he sticking the car lighter to the seat? Because you're not my daddy. That's why.
Man, if you pay the rent, you his daddy.
Roscoe was here.
That's the truth in California. That's the truth. If you act like the daddy,
you the daddy.
You the daddy, and then she can take you to court and go, Your Honor, he was acting like the daddy.
Wow.
That's why I date girls with kids. I push their kids down as soon as I come in. Just
Hey, billionaire,
out of
let
here.
me do this.
Bastard.
Billionaire, really quickly.
Yes, sir.
A lot of women have been hitting me up asking about your availability. You inspired women. Oh, he inspirational. He gonna be a good boyfriend. No, he's not. We're inspired by our work, not you.
That's right.
So what I'd like to ask, Brother Billionaire, is what's up with your relationship situation? People have been asking.
Now take it into consideration. Take it into consideration that some say the vagina is where a young man's dreams go to die. Now go ahead.
Wow. It's the dream grave for great men.
Dream grave. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh man. To be honest, man, my grandmama always told me to stay true to my mission and my objective.
See?
And when I come out and I do radio shows, my personal relationship status is not what got me to the point where I'm at now. So I always just stay focused on my business. And
that's some pimp game right there.
And I just focus on what it is that I'm doing, which is my message is to inspire people. My personal life, I leave it separate from my business.
Dude, and that's smart, though.
If you don't, I'm telling you.
So stay out of his business, ladies.
Positive.
He's not going to be buying dinners.
He's smart. He's a self-starter. You light-skinned with freckles. If this thing don't work out, you need to start pimping. You got your...
No! Hey, don't listen. Okay,
Listen to
Jeff
him.
Brown.
You see his hat, don't listen to him.
I have been discredited because of my hat. That's hilarious.
Well, that was a choice you made today, sir.
Yes. And I got boots to match. I got purple boots and what?
And that was another bad choice you made.
Oh, he got the James Brown classics
And
on.
they zip up on the inside, ladies.
And they zip
And he got garters on his dress socks.
No,
Lord have
no,
mercy.
I wear suits. I do garter my dress socks sometimes, depending where I'm going.
Jesus, this is out of control. So, billionaire, really quickly, a lot of people don't know this guy is really doing a lot of great things. He just texted me pictures of candy. What is that? Talk to me about all of these products, your shirts, and all of that. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a lot.
Oh man, we just came out with some candy bars, man. I just be motivated just to make anything. I remember when I first came out with that little, this is what somebody told me when I first came out with that little T-shirt idea. So I'm here to tell everybody who got them little ideas and you got big visions. I want you to pursue that little idea that the world looks at it as, because it is a big vision to you. Now we just came out with some candy bars for all the people that didn't believe in us to eat and get motivated.
What kind of candy it is? What it called?
Chocolate, man. Well, whatever you like.
What it called? Hater bars?
Hater bars. For all those haters, have a candy bar on me. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to continue, man, just to expand the brand from whatever type of products I can make to get our name out there, I will do that. As long as it's positive, it's got a positive outcome. That's all I want to do. I just always wanted to. That's why I took the quotes and I turned them into songs, turned some of them into movies, and now we just expanding into. I want to reach all diversity and just inspire people to execute their dreams. That is my mission. When I wake every day, what I try to teach people is, if you have a goal on your right and you wake up and you're just busy, you can't. I don't recommend being busy all day. I recommend being productive, because in my eyes, being busy means you just working hard to be broke.
For the sake of doing it, yeah.
Just for the sake of doing something. So just because you working doesn't mean you're in line with your goal, which is in regards to the question that you asked me. When I come out in representation of wealthy minds for the best, for my business to be productive, not me personally, Demetrius Shealy.
Now,
I'm reading her mind right now.
Now, let me do this really quickly.
I got a psychic reading. Oh my God, I'm reading her mind right now.
Okay, read her mind, Jeff.
Nobody else saw her looking at the back of your head. She was looking at him like, this kind of cat deserves my eggs. This is what I'm supposed to
My
do.
eggs.
Oh, Lord.
This is where you're supposed to give your eggs to.
Hey.
And you right, sister. You are right.
You better be careful, though.
That's right.
You better hope
I'ma
she
tell
ain't.
You something.
Tell me
Two
she
Cocker
said that.
Spaniels don't make a Rottweiler. You want to make a good baby? Make babies with a cat like that.
No, ask him if she said that.
He didn't see it. It wasn't. He needed cards. He needed cards. But if he did the cards, I bet you the 7 of eggs will come right up.
The 7 of eggs.
Come right up. I saw her. She was looking at him like, yes, he could get some.
No, but women are.
Or somebody like him.
No, women are smart though. Women are smart. They smart, man. You just better make sure she's not looking at him like a Black Widow does.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to eat him later?
Yes.
We back to where the dreams go to die, people.
So listen, this is what we're going to do. We got a couple more stories, and then we're going to shift into our second hour topic. And I have a good topic, and I need everybody to chime in with their experiences. We got a couple more stories. What story do we have on deck, Studious?
Okay,
Chuck
so we have Tama Toys. It's a toy company, adult toy company in Japan that's selling a fragrance called The Smell of a Boy's Anus.
Huh?
I'm sorry, what?
Market.
I'm sorry, something wrong with these headphones. So why you give me these old crappy headphones?
I don't know.
I could have swore the chocolatey goodness over there said that it's a fragrance.
Yep. It's an oil and a fragrance.
An oil? Mm-hmm. An oil?
Yeah.
What would the ass oil be called?
It's called The Smell of a Boy's Anus. It's on the market in
So
Japan.
who they marketing on? Dateline is their biggest sponsor or something? Chris Hansen is their spokesperson? Like,
I don't know. It's an adult sexual toy.
So, okay, but if a woman put it on and her dude is digging it, ain't that a big question mark?
I'm about to say something really bad.
Walgreens Tokyo, may I help
Somebody should check me right now, because I'm about to say something really bad.
You have.
Man, that's bad.
You have scent of boy anus. I'm sorry, what?
That
the
is
oil
crazy.
as booty oil. You have 7-year-old booty oil there.
Man. Booty.
Oh, hold on. Let me put you on hold. Frank, we got another one of them freaks asking for that ass oil. Hello? Yes, sir. We have the 55-gallon drum. That's all we have available.
A 55-gallon.
How many drums you got?
And how do you bootleg that? Like, what's the knockoff?
The knockoff? You can wipe a diaper and get it. It's ass oil, okay? You ain't never
Real ass
Knock
oil or
off
just
booty
a
oil.
If you go in a lazy broad's house, it smell like chicken grease and ass. You just take one of them fragrances.
You the one smelling couch cushions. I don't know.
No. I know some people who couch cushions permeate their house. Their house smells like a town is on the porch with their ass open.
They need one of them
It is
Febreze plug-ins and a
horrible.
blindfold.
Jeff, wait a minute, Jeff. I just heard that they talked about this on Reach Around Radio, and they called it "Scent of Some Young Boy."
Scent of some young guy? The scent of some young guy? Yeah.
That's bad. That is bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this real? Is this real though?
This is real. They're selling it in Japan. The Tama Toys, that's the company that produced it. They also have other fragrances like the High School Girl's Armpit, Working Woman's Legs. These are fragrances and oils that they sell.
How would you gather? I don't. It's not like you can wring a little boy's ass out.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Maybe you can.
What is going on?
That Asian science, you don't know that. Maybe they squeezing little Asian boys real hard and getting ass oil.
Man,
I don't know.
Squeezing Asian boy.
You twist a little Asian boy at the torso just right, and oil come out his ass. You don't know. You don't know what they doing.
Man,
I gotta take a break.
The doctor's having nothing to do with it.
Right, I gotta take a break.
I don't blame you.
is it child labor laws on that? I mean, can they really? How long do it
You
take to
can
get?
only squeeze the ass for 4 hours. Give boy a break.
Okay.
You've been squeezing your boy ass for 5 hours.
Okay, let me do this really quickly. Who would be some ideal sponsors for this product?
That's what's the Dateline, Chris Hannon,
Apparently, Elma, the dude that does Elma.
Craigslist.
I was gonna say,
Oh, that's messed up. I heard about old boy that did Elmo.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, would a cardinal?
Yeah, the Catholic Church. Get them behind.
What about the planet Uranus?
Wow!
And the doctor
from nowhere, from half court.
Somebody put Sandusky.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Huh? And somebody said his shoes are ugly, Jeff.
Okay.
I tried to tell him.
Shoes.
Okay.
The scent is from his shoes. That's where they get it from.
The scent of my shoes. My shoes smell like grown ass man feet. That's what they smell like. That's what I am. A grown man. I walked in and spent my money on these shoes. I dig these shoes, and every now and then it's Purple Boots Tuesday.
All right, so listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna start our second hour with our topic of the day. I'll tell you what the topic is when we return. Everybody's going to be needed to chime in on this. You're listening to So What Morning Show here with Dr. Mark Goulston and, of course, Jeff Brown. We're having a good time. Got a house full, a lot of guests, a lot of interesting information. I'd like for you people to call in, 323-965-1600. I'll be back in 2.2 seconds. Holla at you then. Ladies and gentlemen, So What Mornings. Don't forget to text ZO to 90210. That's how you stay in contact with me. Got a new book coming out. You know, The Relationship Dismount. It's a breakup guide. It's pretty tight. How to stick the landing when trying to break up with somebody. The Relationship Dismount coming out this February. We're working on it. Text me right now, ZO to 90210.
ZO.
And how you do that is 90210 goes in the space where you put your numbers or your contacts, and ZO goes in the message spot. So just text me. That's how you stay in contact. I got Dr. Mark Goulston in the building with me right now, author of Just Listen. You can still get the 5-page executive summary of his book. He'll send it to you. A lot of people asked him last week about it, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of people reached out to Dr. Mark Goulston. That lets me know people are listening and responding. It's a great book. If you want a 5-page executive summary, later in the show, I'll have Dr. Mark Goulston give you his email again, and you can get that if you reach out to him. Also, we got Trezay, comedian, activist, from the bottom back to the top. Just a reoccurring theme of don't cut the bottom out. Don't alienate the
Don't
bottom.
forget about us, because
Right.
we will rise.
And of course, Jeff Brown is in the building, Psychic Wayne, and Billionaire PA, the homie from Wealthy Minds. Y'all got to check out his clothing line. He got candy, got popsicles, the brother's moonwalking, making videos. He's just doing the whole damn thing. So I just love inspirational people. So listen, we're back in the building. Let's get on to our next topic. Let's talk about this, because my agenda for the next hour is to talk about, should the president have a black agenda? Especially when there's this new report out right now that's saying 60 to 80% of the homicide cases in Chicago go unsolved. Now, you coupled with the story that was already put out a little while ago about how living in Chicago is probably worse than living in Iraq or Afghanistan, because there have been double the amount of deaths in Chicago than in both those places. And those two places, Afghanistan and Iraq, are war zones.
Okay, watch your mouth. I'm from Chicago. Don't make me kill nobody.
And again, he's probably one of them.
He's from a war zone.
Right, exactly. You proved my
Get
point.
it twisted because
So
speak proper.
I got something that I'm going to have, Chuck Doe read, that was circulating around on Facebook. And a lot of people are still on this thing because of something that Tavis Smiley and Cornel West and these guys are still banging about. Should a black agenda be a part of this guy's movement? So, without further ado, Chuck Doe, tell us what that story was about. What's going on?
Okay, I'm going to read to you guys the quote that Dr. Cornel West said. He said, "I'm glad there was not a right-wing takeover, but we end up with a Republican, a Rockefeller Republican in blackface with Barack Obama.
Wow.
So that our struggle with regard to poverty intensifies. Is he ever going to say the word prison, the phrase prison industrial complex?
Ooh.
Reagan wouldn't say AIDS. Bush wouldn't say climate change.
Climate change, wow.
Will Obama say prison industrial complex? I mean, I want to know where the risk is that equates to being the most progressive president ever. That's what I don't get."
Wow. Industrial prison complex. We got to remember, nobody imprisons people like the United States. No one. We lock everybody up for the slightest offense. I mean, how many people are in jail, and how many of those people are black or people of color?
I got 2 black baby daddies in jail.
Well, you have multiracial baby daddies?
Well, 2 of them are black, and they are both incarcerated.
Well, what are the other 3?
Tongan, Puerto Rican, and white.
Damn, your kids look like a Benetton ad. Your kids look like neighbors. They don't look like kids. But that's a strength, though. That's a strength. Because if somebody picking on baby number 3, he don't know that half Asian boy over there in the corner is his brother. He don't know.
About to get jumped.
About to get swapped.
Wow, Doc. Talk to me about what Chuck Doe just laid out for us, man. Like, does this guy really need a black agenda, especially with all of the things that black people as a community are going through? What responsibility, if any, does a black president have?
I think he has a huge one, but this is the problems with why this politics is it's so awful, because he can't be the proponent of it. Why is it that Nixon was the one who went to China? You would have thought that of all presidents, Nixon wouldn't have been someone who would go to China. So what you need is a real advocate who, just like women need advocates that are other than women, saying these people have value and they deserve more than they get. I could see his fear. I don't justify it. I don't make excuses for it, but I could see, well, if I have a black agenda, they'll think it's too self-serving and blah, 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 blah. I don't think that means he shouldn't have one, but, the politics is kind of a dicey business. I'd like to hear what Jeff has to say. Something informed is...
Okay,
Jeff, really quickly, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Who should he be more like? Martin Luther King or Malcolm X this second term?
To be honest with you, I don't think that and this is just being really real, I don't think it matters. I think here's the issue. this path that we are on as a nation, as a people, as a world has been laid out for hundreds of years, and it's like a roller coaster, and Obama is just in the front seat right now. The roller coaster goes where it goes. It has nothing to do with his desire. It has to do with his ability. America is a corporation.
It's a business.
It is a business.
And he's the
he
CEO.
He's the CEO of a business, beholden to the stockholders who make plenty of money putting black folks in prison and keeping black folks ignorant and spending their money on cars that ain't worth nothing and clothes that go out of style.
Billionaire, let me ask you. What advice will you give to the kids, man, on how to avoid, especially young black boys, how to avoid the penal system? I know you had your own problems with that, but how is it that you can stand up and look back and say, that's something I'll never do, I escaped that situation?
He's more effective.
Because what I'm saying is far too many young black boys, once they get in that system, there's no return coming out of that system. How was it that you were able to go through it and now progress forward without ever going back? Talk to me.
Basically, what helped me was understanding the value of your mind. And when you don't, you just do meaningless things. You just do whatever you think is cool. When you understand the value of your mind and you truly know the power of speaking dreams into existence, you can have whatever you want in this world. And nobody, if they understood the value of their mind, they wouldn't pick jail.
Wow.
You know
So you said incarceration is a choice.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
You know,
when I committed my crimes, I did that. But I was raised in an environment that taught me to lie and say I didn't. Well, I'm not the same person. I don't want to lie no more. I want to tell the truth. I committed the crime. I served it. You know what I'm saying? It's over. But most people not willing to, come out and be themselves. They try to be who they think their friends want them to be, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna give you an option to hang around me or not, and that's why it's thousands of 100,000 of kids following me, because they feel the realness. I'm not gonna sell these kids dreams. I'm gonna tell them, when we leave here after this speech, you go home, you work, and you execute. I'm not a psychic. I don't speak dreams. You know what I'm saying? I don't wave no fan and your dreams just magically appear. You know what I'm saying? You got to go work. You know what I'm saying? So
Execution.
I don't predict your future. You just execute. You execute, like Will Smith saying, he told me last week, you got to build one brick, a day at a time.
Right.
And you got to watch that wall just build, and that's what we do at Wealthy Minds. So just continue to execute your dream and believe in it.
Wayne?
I got a T-shirt
Wait.
I want you to make.
Hold on.
Okay.
Well, tell him the T-shirt, and then I'm going to Wayne.
I'd like you to make a T-shirt that on the front, two sides. On the front of it says, "Don't get even with the world." On the back side, it says, "Get ahead in the world."
Exactly. He said what I wanted to say all in 2 sentences.
There it is. And Wayne?
Yes, sir.
That's why you need a team.
The last time Wayne was here, because I like to put people in position to do things. The last time Wayne was here, Wayne did a reading for the entire black community. Do you guys remember that?
I remember.
Everybody had to touch the cards.
And the light-skinned people gave us problems. Somebody on the board didn't want to do it.
No, I said everybody. But Wayne
didn't want to touch the cards.
But Wayne did a reading, man. He did a reading, and he said it's going to be tough. Coming up 2013, 2014.
Absolutely.
He said it's going to be tough for black people. Now, let me ask you this, Wayne. Why do you think the cards, I guess you can't say why, or the cards just landed the way they landed, but why do you think black people always have it so tough? Are we our biggest problem, or are we legitimized in being this victimhood kind of personality or consciousness that we have? Is the white man truly to blame, or is it really us now?
That's a really tough and long question.
It was long.
I'm going to say that, as a people, we've been oppressed for a very, very long time, and it's been hard. And I think that we're at a stage now where we've made some progress, but it's just still so much progress to be made. It really, really is. And having a black president is definitely a start. And I think I explained to you before, Barack's destiny has nothing to do with him being the very first black president, which I found interesting. His destiny has something to do with his wife and his kids.
Wow. And that's your reading. Now,
can I ask the doctor a question?
Yes, you can.
What do you think that, how come other races can help each other out? Like, when you have a Mexican, like in my neighborhood, it's like this thing called Plaza de Mexico. And it's like 30 Hispanic people got together and they built a whole mall. I mean, it's like 2 blocks long. It's got stores and Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, it's a beautiful place. But us as a people, instead of sometimes coming together, we want to be the first one to do it, or we don't want to help each other do something, or we don't want to give someone the answers because we just don't want to help. And I see other races, they work together and they build on each other's, you know what I'm saying? And they are able to come up and be wealthy. But when it's like one of us might make it and then everybody else is like, oh, he made it. And then that one person, he might reach back and help, but then 9 times out of 10, he won't. What is that what is that mentality? Just not a black or a white. What is that human mentality that makes you not want to help your brother succeed?
I think and this is not just black, you see this in the white community, and you don't see it so much in the Hispanic community. I think you see people who are consumed with anger, jealousy, and envy. So they can't root for each other. When they see someone having more, all they think about is, why do I have less? And I think in the Hispanic community, I think what happens is I think many of them are much more appreciative with the little they have, and they're much more cooperative. But I think when you start getting consumed with jealousy, envy, and you can't even root for your friends when you feel like
he just said the black community is unappreciative of each other and jealous and envious of each other. That's what he said.
It's just, but like he said, Hispanic.
No, he said it was us.
I have a different answer. I got a great answer. Can I?
He just said it indirectly.
Can I answer that question? I want to answer that question. I got an answer to that question.
What is the question?
Okay. Why is it that black people seem to not be able to work together? Well, for one, and just first, all respect to you, Doc, but I have no concern for what other races do. For me to concern myself with what white people
He's not a humanist.
No, not at all. Right. With what white people do bad. For me to concern myself with what white people do bad as a black person is like me saying your grass is too high while my damn house is on fire.
Great analogy.
I don't have the time to do that. The problem with black people is that we are disconnected. We don't see ourselves as all connected because we're disconnected from our history. We're the only group of people that don't have any secrets or any history or any backwards connection. Mexico is right there. If I blow somebody's brains out and I'm Mexican and I can get in a van and make it to Tijuana, I'm cool. If you are black, if I'm black and I shoot Zoe here, where the hell am I going?
Don't go to Pasadena.
I can't go to Pasadena.
Billionaire. Billionaire. Add on.
I mean, I like to speak from my personal experiences, and a lot of the reasons why I was broke was because of my ego. And when you set your ego to the side and you're able to work with different races and stuff like that, you're able to speak that type of stuff into existence. I came from a very racial place, and if I brought my past into my future, then it would still look like my past. And so
I'm sorry, you're going to have to repeat that.
If I brought my past into my future, it would still look like my past. So you got to let your past go. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people compensate themselves by talking about other people because they wish they had what they had. I compensate myself by results and working with all type of people. I used to be selfish, and I would say my first 1 to 2 year in business, and we've been in business 4 years. In the past 2 years, I started developing a team, and that mission is just like pushing so fast, like it's ridiculous. So I don't care what your race is. We got the same vision. We got the same goals. You hook up with a team and you execute it. Mark, Doctor introduced me to somebody last week, and we're working on something. If I judge that based off of race, my business would not be moving as fast as it should.
And that's what's so beautiful about it. I always say black people are so backwards that we have to catch up to the present.
Oh my God.
Do you understand? Like, it's almost like go back, find out who you are, then come back to the present and get over it so you can move forward.
And
that's how backwards we are. Easy. So it's problematic. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, just it's your mentality. I won't say I speak for myself. I was raised into material stuff. I was raised into things that did not mean nothing. And you learn that when I come to California, California was like Mecca to me, of how Malcolm X went to Mecca, and he was like, where I'm from, this isn't true.
Don't go down.
Y'all got the wrong beliefs,
right?
And I saw that. I was raised where I couldn't really speak to people like Mark, and now I'm trying to tell them it's people out here that's helping me that you said wasn't supposed to.
And you know what's crazy?
Pushing your beliefs on everybody.
And you know what's crazy? After last week's show, we're walking out talking on high because we enjoyed the show. Mark says, "Hey, hold on. let me get Billionaire a copy of my book. He gives Billionaire a copy of his book. Billionaire looks at the front cover, sees the person's name on there, and he goes, "Oh, this is my mentor." The mentor he had been talking about the whole show. He was like, "Oh, wow, the foreword is by my mentor."
Yeah, his name is Keith Ferrazzi, and you know that's confirmation. Like God will give you confirmation that you are headed in the right direction. Zoe Williams brings me into a studio, and I meet the doctor, and then we leave the show, and he hands me a book, and I am an African American kid where I never knew anybody's name on any books. And he hands me a book, and I can actually say that I know the person that's on his book, and I can call him in my phone.
That's my mentor, is what he said. His son is Whoop-de-Whoop. Oh, really? You know Whoop-de-Whoop. Well, yeah. And it all came together. There are no accidents in the universe, and I'm going to say this right now. Until black people have an honest desire to redefine wealth. Wealth is community. Wealth is forgiveness. Wealth, listen to this, is conscious spiritual development. The pursuit of it, the learning of it, the implementation of it. Until we get back to that space, we are not going to be able to appreciate, respect, and consider each other. See, that's the problem. We could say, post-traumatic stress disorder. Everybody has an answer. Slavery, this and that. But let me tell you, knowing is half the battle. So if we know what's wrong with us, we should now be able to put together some kind of strategy to be able to build a reality that we want to participate in, and not a reality that we loathe every moment of the day.
I think step number one is pick an age that over which we write off everybody who ain't on that page. At some point, you have to separate.
Oh, you back to alienating people?
Yes, I am.
Now we already done proved to you that you can't alienate people. I got two people sitting in here right now from the bottom.
You have not proven that. I'm from the bottom.
You the one that was talking. He was the one that was
That's the
talking
one.
about.
Get in his ass, please.
What you mean you people can't come from the bottom? I come from.
Whoa! I never said that.
Yeah, he did.
I never.
He
said
said alienate the bottom.
I'm from 60th and Damon. Who in here from Chicago? I am from 60th and Damon.
He said alienate the bottom.
Where people is getting shot at, and
he said push him off the edge of the earth.
That is exactly where I am from. This brother here is connected to this dude on this book, and is connected to this room because of his conscious effort. Because when he was in the car at the beginning of his story, pasting up positivity, that's what he did, instead of blaming the car
and what
on the world.
But hold
robbing
on,
liquor
Jeff.
stores.
This is what I'm saying. This is how I prove my point. He did it on his own.
Yes,
right.
That's where it starts.
That's great. He did it on his own, but not everybody can do it on their own. Maybe listen, and check me if I'm wrong here, Dr. Mark Goulston. There are different kinds of motivation. You have internal motivation, and then you have an external form of motivation.
Absolutely.
If you look at it in terms of athletics, you see one kid, he has an internal drive to get better. So the coach loves that guy because that makes the coach's job a little easier, because he could see all I got to do is point him in a direction. Because he wants to be here, he's going to internally manifest what he wants out of it. That's a good kind of player to have. But then you have other kind of players where you got to pat them on the back. Good job. And they need that external motivation. Guess what? He might be an internal person that looked at his situation, evaluated it, and said, hell nah, I'm about to write out something. I don't know what I'm writing, but I'm going to open up and let it come through me, and this is going to change my circumstance. That's internal. But that doesn't mean it's better than those who need a pat on the back. Sometimes the dude from his situation, from her situation, from my situation, needs external support in order to get a jump. To me, the external support is like a jump.
I don't know what part of what I'm saying disagrees with that. I think
you still saying leave people. I'm saying don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
No, some of them babies need to go. Why?
He believes in cultural abortion. 323-965-1600.
Why? It is very simple. It is very simple.
Yeah, why?
There are certain
Why everybody
people,
don't deserve help to do better?
Everybody doesn't deserve help.
Why? Do better? Everybody don't deserve a chance to do better.
No, not everybody deserves a chance not everybody.
to do better.
No.
Everybody does not deserve a chance to do better.
No.
Why?
Because certain people don't deserve that chance.
Why?
Why? No.
Who's the judge?
Who don't deserve
a chance to do better.
The end of it. Okay, I need 15. Can I get 15 seconds? Give me 15
now, wait a minute. I'm tired of you asking for 15 seconds because you always cutting people off all the damn time.
Okay.
Now, you on a time limit. Now, you got 10 seconds. Go.
Dude, I'm from one of the dirtiest, lowest spots on the earth, and I'm telling you that there are certain cats.
We can tell by the hat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. People get my vernacular mixed up. I'm nice with these doorknobs because of where I'm from. And I'm telling you that there are certain people who, no matter what you say to them, and you know them. How about, who is it on your block that you lock your door for?
Everybody.
Okay. Who is it out of that everybody that you absolutely know if you went home and your mess was missing, that's one of the first dudes you need to holler at? Think about him. If he does not make a positive effort to change because of his surroundings, later for that cat right now.
Everybody changes at a different rate. Everybody develops and grows at a different pace. Come on.
And it's not about your surroundings. I've been on the street since I was 12 years old. I've never prostituted. You know what I'm saying? And I really raised
Some would
myself.
beg to differ, 5 baby daddies.
But
and
I
all.
was, I've been married 4 times. I've been married 4 times.
That's why I wanted to say that. I wanted you to get that out.
I've been married. I got 5 kids, but I've been married 4 times.
Oh my God!
So that doesn't even. I've been married 4 times, so I have children by my husband.
I understand it. I've been married 3 times. I'm telling you what, I get that.
But I'm just trying to figure out where you come to the decision where somebody does not need help.
I'm telling you,
and
there's
if
some
that
cats
cat
need
that
right
you
now.
know was stole your stuff. If your
All right, listen to the voice here. Doc.
Voice of reason.
Tis I.
That's you.
Tis I, my lord.
It's not what people need; it's what people want. And the thing is, something I'm pretty sure about everyone in the studio today. There's a question that I ask people, and it determines whether I'm going to have anything to do with them. And I changed about 1.5 years ago. And the question is, what do you need to do? You need to do to get better. What do you need to get better at that will result in your being happier or more successful?
Absolutely, I love it.
And what happens is, about 1.5 years ago, I wouldn't ask those questions because a lot of the people I would see, they'd say, me, it's everyone else. And I would get exhausted, but they wouldn't change because their opinion was, it's not me, it's everyone else. But I can tell from everyone in the studio today, if I said, what do you need to get better at? You get better at, that will result in your being happy or more successful. But I think everyone in the studio today, and I think everyone listening, should ask themselves that question. Because if you take offense at that, if you finger point to someone else, you're going to stay stuck. And you know something? If you finger point to someone else, they're not going to rush to help you.
Wow.
So it's what you do for yourself,
and
man.
Doc, let me ask you this. Would you agree that most people are inclined to blame others for their problems? Most people are inclined to take the victim position or the victim consciousness as opposed to saying, let me look at this situation objectively. I'm talking about the black community. Let us look at this situation objectively.
I don't know if it's the most, but I think it's the loudest. I think there's a lot of good people that are taking responsibility, but they don't make the news. What makes the news are the loudmouth blamers, the loudmouth finger pointers. I think there's tons of really good people that don't even get into that conversation. They're just too busy trying to get ahead one day at a time, be the best they can be. Try and be positive, but they don't make the news. If it bleeds, it reads.
Wow, that's good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the Zoe What Show. We're having a great argument here.
Oh, okay, can I put it this way?
What?
One day when I am incredibly wealthy, and that day's coming,
right.
I personally have no intention of helping anybody other directly than the youth. If you over a certain age, you got to come to me. I'm not coming to you. I'm not looking for you. But look at kids at a certain age, while they are moldable, while they are bendable, while I can get them around cats like this, while I can show them that most of the people who make most of the money, who have most of the stuff you want, don't make it the way the people do on the videos who have none of the money and none of the stuff you see.
Well, listen, why don't we ask somebody who knows how to cooperate? I'm going to go back to the doctor.
And yeah, does that make sense?
He's from a community of cooperation, the Jews.
Oh my God, they tight. Woo!
Let me ask the doctor this right now. Give us 3 things that black people should steal from the Jews and their ability to cooperate. Three cooperation tips. Because when we look at the Jews,
that's breaking rule number 1.
I don't
do that.
I'm just saying, I don't give a damn what go down.
He ain't gonna breathe.
The Jews are so tight. I mean, they got Hollywood locked up. They got people afraid to even say something sideways about the Jews.
They got people scared to compliment them. That's gangster.
You see what I'm saying? What are 3 things that black people can use that the Jews do in order to build community? Go deeper, doctor.
I think there's this fear that if we don't pull together or stay together, we won't survive. I think we're haunted by how many of us got killed in the.
Absolutely.
So why that don't
Are you saying black
us?
people ain't haunted? We haunted. Every time we get on a cruise liner.
That's funny.
I'm just
no
But
black
why
people.
we ain't haunted by
Because
that? If y'all got the need for the Holocaust to make y'all stick together and y'all got a fear of falling apart, well, why we don't feel that way?
Because they're not told to get over it. Because
let the doctor say something. Damn.
Okay, yeah.
I think part of it is that, and this is gonna
was
trigger
good,
all
though.
kinds of things, but I need some help from you all black folks here. Is that I think I don't think a lot of Jews lay guilt trips.
Oh,
on other
are you
people.
serious?
What?
Are you
Now
serious?
you know y'all.
No, I mean,
come on,
guilt
now.
trips in terms of help us to succeed.
Come on.
Y'all just succeed on your own.
Yeah. No. We lay guilt trips about we also
Religion.
have this thing about religion, all
Yeah.
that stuff in the Middle East and all that stuff. But I think as a culture, in terms of trying to get ahead, I don't think we lay guilt trips saying you owe it to us, you owe it to us.
Exactly.
It's a different kind of thing.
Well, you kind of do though.
Well, no. They just don't let you. They don't let you front on them. If you want us to take a page out of their book, what if after Katrina, everybody? Yeah, here's how Jews get out. What if after Katrina, everybody black got up and moved to Louisiana from where you are? Just got up, pack your stuff, and moved. Everybody.
Why?
Huh? Why?
Let's be the next to drown.
Why? No, let's be the first to come to our aid of our people on our own. Let's migrate to an area instead of being separated in a bunch of big cities. I'm almost done. Move and go somewhere. What would happen if everybody black moved to one area and say, you know what? Instead of playing for the NBA,
Right.
I am willing to play in a league that the salary cap is $5 million for everybody, but you can live good
but Jeff,
right here.
wait a minute.
And they stop playing for other leagues.
Let's do it this way, Jeff. Could we move there with the purpose, and I can follow you up to a point. Can we move there with the purpose of rebuilding and then move back?
And then move back?
To wherever you're from.
Maybe not.
Because if you go to New Orleans now, there's still remnants of Katrina.
Of course.
Many, many years later.
Because you don't have enough coupons there. You don't have enough. There's not enough coupons. Okay.
What kind of coupons?
If we had a quarter of Michael Jordan's coupons and a quarter of Oprah's coupons and a quarter of everybody that's wealthy, that was black, say, you know what, we're gonna take one area and make this our area, but we can't because we have been convinced that it is better to do things the way that we think points to affluence for white people. Black people don't have any concept of what affluent is for black. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it's like to kill an elephant that feeds the whole family. You don't know what a successful black man looks like. All we are
Jeff,
impressions of successful white men.
Jeff, that was a great point. We have to move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Because you
Why don't we
start
do
talking
that?
about elephant meat and I don't know where we ended up in safari. I don't know what happened. I just heard
That's hilarious.
The elephant butcher. But let's do it really quickly. We have something specifically for Dr. Mark to be able to chime in on. What are the things that they can't say? Who put this list together? Talk to me, Chuck Doe.
We have the list of words that white people cannot say. I'm going to name off the list. Boy.
Hold on real quick. Are you progressively getting sicker
Yes.
as the show goes on?
She's sick. You sick, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Okay, fall easy. Here we go.
Boy. Okay, boy, ghetto, monkey, thugs, hoochie mama, baby daddy, brother, girlfriend, and nigger. White people can't say that.
Okay, why
Wait.
was nigga at the end? That should have been the first word. You could have put that at the beginning and the end.
And is that with an E or with an A?
It's what's the difference?
Can white people say either or?
One incites
Of
violence.
endearment and one is
One incites violence.
Right.
What
Yeah.
about the lady on Facebook?
Denise Helms.
What does she do?
She put on her status. She's 22 years old. She's from California. She put on her status after Barack Obama won, quote, "Another 4 years of this nigga. Maybe he will get assassinated this term."
Wow. Well, Doc, let me ask the doc this.
That's how they feel.
Because this is for the doctor. Do you find, because black people, you know how Bryant Gumbel came out and talked about how, a lot of prominent people, where there's Jesse Jackson, a lot of black people came out and said, yeah, we say the word to each other behind closed doors, when the cameras are off or whatever. Your experience as a white man, a full-grown Caucasian male, have you ever been around white people that say it casually behind closed doors, maybe even listening to hip-hop and that's my nigga?
Yeah, do they look both ways first? Hold on, who's in the room? Who's in the room?
I think it's
that nigger's crazy.
I think it's getting less, but I think it's still there.
But have you ever experienced it personally?
Where they say
like this nigga here? Shit.
Not in a while. Not in a while. But I'll bet it still goes on too frequently. But I wanted to, something about those words though I wanted to say is a lot of white people don't want to lose control really of themselves. A lot of black people never feel like they had the control to begin with. So one of the reasons you don't want to say some of those words, a lot of white people are afraid to provoke other people, not because you'll upset them, but
y'all invented slavery. How was y'all scared to provoke somebody?
They did not invent slavery.
No, they didn't invent slavery.
Black people did. Let them finish.
This may not just be, but this I think this is an important thing. A lot of when you find people who are afraid to confront others and afraid to provoke people. And you might say, well, I don't want to get them upset. Really, what you don't want to do is provoke them into getting you out of control. So it's not so much you're afraid of upsetting them, but you're afraid of what your reaction
What is the white people, the collective Incredible Hulk?
Yeah,
you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Get angry.
Look, let's face it, there's an uptightness to the white community compared to the black community.
Absolutely,
Well,
because
we are
you
naturally
carry
cool.
because what I think the core issue is that white people want to carry the benefits of their sin, of the sins of their forefathers, without the acknowledgement or atonement of it.
But what if the white man acknowledged and atoned for everything? Would that change the black mentality?
Not at all.
The black mentality
Not at
of
all.
interracial classism, the black mentality of scarcity and lack?
It's got to die. That's got to die.
It goes back to almost everything that Billionaire said. It's atonement. It's nice. Apologies are nice, but it really comes down to execution. Give people actual opportunities. Give them actual things to do. Don't talk about it. Don't. I think apologies fine, but where is the action? The rubber's got to hit the road, and people got to have something they can actually do, not just that.
Sounds like he's calling the black race lazy.
No,
Billionaire, go.
No. Defend me, John.
Honey, I'm trying to defend him. Okay, here's the problem. Let's look at every race as a house on a block. Okay, the White House is the hugest, nicest, most prominent house, but they can't figure out why people keep driving by and throwing dog dung and bricks through the windows. It is because the wood you got from these people. It is because the people who put it together free was those people, and it's sitting on those people's land. And this is the problem they have with this house. And in order for them to do what you say to, they got to start taking apart their house and giving it back.
Another amazing analogy by Jeff Brown.
Okay.
We went on the Home Depot tour for that one.
Please say it don't
Billionaire.
make sense.
Talk to me, Billionaire.
Say it don't make sense.
Billionaire, say it plain, please. Thank you.
I look at it like this, man. I'll give you this example. When I first called myself the name Billionaire PA, I met this friend who tried to call me another name. She said, why don't you try to be Millionaire PA? And I looked at her and I told her.
You stopped talking to her, right?
No, I told her I don't have a minimum wage mentality.
That's right. He threw her out the car while it was moving.
So I say that in regards to what Mark said is no matter what anybody calls you, if that's not who you are in your heart, it shouldn't even matter to you. It shouldn't even get you out of control. You know, this person, you know, if Mark called me out of my name, it wouldn't bother me because that's not who I am. So it's like if you look at the dog and the moon, you never see the moon never says anything back. And if the moon said anything back to that dog, it would give all power to the dog.
Got it.
So it's like if you're in a higher position, why waste your time with it?
You know, if you
That's a good point.
if you spend your life thinking you're going to be provoked or waiting to be provoked, you won't take action to do anything to make your life better. You can sit there.
That
you can
is so
sit there
true.
waiting. Who's going to provoke me next?
Yep.
And then so you don't even think about what you yourself can do to better yourself.
Okay.
So I want to say this right here, Zoe.
Go ahead, billionaire.
I'm going to use myself for an example. I separated myself from my family because I was sick of us blaming so many people for us being broke. I wanted to be the person in my family that got out and said, I'm going to forget all the excuses that y'all said. And because we spend so much time talking about problems, but nobody is taking any actions.
Wow.
So if that's why I use the word execution, because it scares people who don't execute. They don't want to be around you. If it's anybody
because if
in the
you
studio
execute
that
now,
don't
you've taken
execute,
responsibility,
exactly. It's like
and that's one thing the victimhood consciousness can't do is take responsibility.
Yeah, it's like we sit in this studio and we'll talk about our past, but when we leave here, what actions are we truly going to do to bring our community together?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's what I did.
Other than that, we're going to get a bunch of people on Twitter saying great conversation, but success isn't measured by how long you run your mouth, it's measured by results.
Wow. Trezay, tell us, cuz.
That's what I did when I started, when my book started doing well. I used the money to start my nonprofit organization because I wanted to help other moms who was in that same situation I was in be able to move forward. I wanted to show them you don't have to stay. You can be homeless, but you don't have to stay homeless. You can be poor, but you don't have to stay poor. And you can be, you know what I'm saying, you can be a single mom and still rise above whatever situations that was holding you back.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I went back and gave back, because I wanted to be an example of the moms that I wanted to see in the community.
But see, this is why I say inspiration is the best motivation. You can't be motivated unless you're inspired. Sometimes that inspiration comes from a pat on the back. Sometimes that inspiration is self-generating. But at the end of the day, anybody who seeks to be great has to be inspired in order to be motivated to get up and get out and do what it is that they need to do. Imagine if you had a community that both motivated you internally and externally. Because not everybody has that internal, I'm just going to pop up and go get it. Sometimes in our community, the greatest amongst us needs a push, needs a supportive arm, needs a supportive ear.
Without question.
So what happens is we have this capitalistic mentality that says, I'm going to get mine, I'm going to get mine, I'm going to get mine. And then we forget that sometimes us getting is a symbol for others to say, oh, damn, look at what he was able to do. Now imagine if he took a little time and put that energy and that focus on me. Hey, I'm watching you. I want to see you do well. Damn, you know who I talked to today that said they were watching me? They wanted to see me do?
Right.
There's your jump start.
It's contagious. It's contagious.
That's what needs to happen. Listen, we got 5 minutes before the show wraps. This is what I want to do. I want to go around round robin and ask everybody what they're doing and where people can find you. I want to start with Psychic Wayne. I believe that Psychic Wayne is the coldest psychic in the game because I'm just skeptical. I'm just skeptical of everything. And the fact that he was able to read it and it came down exactly the way he said it, I said he had to come back. So, Psychic Wayne, what's your website, man? Where can people find you?
Yeah, they can find me at psychicwayne1.com. And can I say something really quick?
Yes, you can.
I wanted to chime in. I've never chosen to do this path, but obviously when I say path, the astrology thing. And out of all the communities, working with my own people has been the biggest struggle. They put me down the most.
Wow.
That's changing, because I do urban radio. I get all sorts of emails about, you're the devil, you're wrong. But say I went to an event where it was a black club. 2 people came over to my table And I went to a Hispanic one. The line was out the door. They had to close the line down with so many people to talk to me.
Deal with them.
So, yeah, well, hopefully I'll be able to open up other minds. But anyway, my site is psychicwayne1.com.
PsychicWayne1.com. Please connect with him. PsychicWayne1.com. Billionaire website. Where can they find you?
Oh, man, you can actually find me this Thursday, man. I'm about to do a big interview with Tanika Ray on
Tanika Ray?
Yeah, man, she just talked about, she was just telling me about you, talking about she
my
love you
girl.
and everything.
She cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
We're about to do an
Ray.
interview on Thursday on Mind, Body, Casa. We about to speak dreams into existence, man, over in the Beverly Hills area. But you can find me on wealthymindsclothing.com. I promise you, if you type it in, it will motivate you.
Wow, good stuff. And Trenice. Not Trenice. Trenae. Trezay.
Oh, I thought you talking to her. Like
I was going to keep going. Bonifa. Shaquanda Lisa.
You funny. No.
You bound to hit it.
I was going to hit one of them.
I will be at the Comedy Store tonight, tripping on Tuesdays. You can find me on Twitter at DatGirlFunny, DatGurl Funny. And I'm on Trezay Can Do What She Like on Facebook. My website for my nonprofit organization is GEMS4moms.org. And we help homeless and battered moms with emergency services. So if you're going through anything, hit me up and we'll make sure we get you on the right train and on the right track. Jeff Brown.
I love it. Nice handoff.
You know what? This show goes by so fast, maybe because I'm always late. Look.
Right.
At GB Funny Style, I'm beginning to tweet. Hit me up at Jeff Brown. I'm just beginning. Hit me up on Facebook. And I'll be back here next Tuesday, perhaps on time.
There it is. And Mark Goulston.
MarkGoulston.com, MarkGoulston.com. Sorry it's so hard to spell, but go there. And
you saying black people can't spell?
No, I can't spell it. I use a different name when I'm ordering pizza.
Keep you on the bullseye. Get back up.
M. Goulston at MarkGoulston.com. Send me an email, and if you want to get a summary of Just Listen, it's still available.
All right, Zoe Williams, just text me, ZO to 90210. Do it right now. Text me, ZO to 90210. We like to keep up a little hogwashery, a lot of chicanery in the topics. But we had fun today, and I'm really appreciative that you guys were able to get down.
Wonderful.
I know DJ Mr. Wonderful, Number Wonderful is here. He keeps us with all of the fly music. You guys should check him out on Facebook. That's DJ Mr. Number Wonderful. You can find him there and email him and ask him about all of the tracks and stuff he plays, because you guys are asking on YouTube and stuff like that. He'll tell you. Reach out to him. I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to see you next week with another barn burner. That's what we do. Zoe What Mornings. We out. Holla.